Dear loving children, I hope you are all keeping fine. Welcome to the online class of Economics, Chapter 2, The People as Resource. The previous test which I gave you, I had given you two questions for both the classes. One question, what is the role of education in human capital formation? The second question was, what is the role of health in human capital formation? I am very happy that most of the students have done the test very well, except one or two students who did not try to understand the question. I want that all of you should complete the question answers. Send it to me through my WhatsApp number 9847831642. So in the previous session we learned about how Japan became a developed country, what is unemployment, what are primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. Now let us move on to the last session, in which we will be studying about distinguish between disguised unemployment and seasonal unemployment. We also learn about how can we improve the education system of India. We also learn about why unemployment is a peculiar problem, especially for educated youth of India. As I told you earlier, you should read the chapter once or twice so that you may understand better. And you should learn the question answer and get ready for the test. Next time, I want all the students should score maximum marks. You should read the textbook so that you may understand better. Let us come to the last online class of this chapter 2, Economics, People as Resource. So in the previous class we learned about how educated parents spend money on the education of their children, how Japan became a developed country. We also learned about primary activities, secondary activities and tertiary activities. So now let us move on to the next question of this online class. Distinguish between disguised and seasonal unemployment. Earlier we learned about what is unemployment. Unemployment is a situation in which people are willing to work but they do not find gainful jobs at the going wages. So let us find out what is the difference between disguised unemployment and seasonal unemployment. In disguised unemployment, people appear to be employed. This happens among family members engaged in agriculture. The work requires the service of 5 people but engages 8 people. In agriculture, we find the work actually requires the service of 5 people only. The work can be done by 5 people but engages 8 people. 8 people are working. If the 3 extra people, if they do not work also, the work will be complete. So that is called disguised unemployment. More than required number of people are working in the agricultural field. So normally when there is agriculture, all the family members, they join together and do the cultivation. So that is disguised unemployment. Seasonal unemployment means people are not able to find jobs during the lean season. Lean season means when sowing is done, then weeding is done, harvesting and threshing, that in between the time of sowing and harvesting, there is a period of lean season when people do not find jobs. Only very few people get jobs. People depending on agriculture face this problem. Seasonal unemployment is faced by those people who depend on agriculture. They get jobs during plowing, sowing, weeding, harvesting and threshing. That is the time they get sowing, transplanting, weeding, harvesting, threshing. That is the time only people get jobs. Other times they are jobless. That is called lean season. Students, I hope you have understood the difference between disguised unemployment and seasonal unemployment. Now let us move on to the next question. Evaluate the impact of unemployment on the growth of an economy. First one, unemployment leads to wastage of manpower resources. Manpower resources are wasted because people do not get jobs. Second point, people who are an asset turn into liability. Liability means a burden. People who are supposed to become an asset for the nation, an asset for the family, turn into a liability or a burden. So people who are supposed to become a resource, a benefit for the society, they become a burden for the society. There is a feeling of hopelessness and despair among the youth. So youth, they feel upset and they feel sad because they do not get jobs. You can see in the picture, you can find many youth, unemployed youth here, educated youth here, and you can find a lot of unemployed youth here. Then the next point, people do not have sufficient money to support their family. When they do not get jobs, how can they look after their family? They don't have sufficient money to support their family. Many people are losing their jobs. On the next point, unemployment tends to increase economic overload. Economic overload is increased. And the dependence on the working population increases. The number of people depending on the working population. You must understand working population means the people between the age group of 15 to 59. 15 to 59, that is a working population. So those children up to the age of 14 and those our parents, grandparents who are above 59 or 60 and above, they depend on the working population. So the dependence on the working population increases when people do not get jobs. Next, let us come to the next question. Why is educated unemployed a peculiar problem, a special problem in India? Peculiar means a special problem in India. First point, a large number of graduates and postgraduates are unemployed. Every year, thousands and thousands of graduates and postgraduates come out from the colleges. And they do not find jobs, so they are unemployed. That is a main problem. They feel themselves a burden on their family and stressed. They feel stressed. They are under stress. They feel a burden for their family, a liability for their family because they do not get jobs. That is the main problem faced by the youth of educated unemployed youth of India. It creates a dissatisfaction among the youth. It creates a sense of dissatisfaction. They are not satisfied. They are graduates and postgraduates. They normally search for white collar jobs and which they do not get. And as a result, they feel upset, sad, and so that is a problem faced by educated youth. Their skill and power are not being used by the nation. The educated youth, they have their own skill, they have their own power, not being used by the nation. It causes skilled labor to leave the country in search of jobs. That is why thousands of people are migrating to other countries in search of green pastures, in search of job opportunities. So as a kind of a brain drain. We understand brain drain. during the time of the British, we learned about they drained the wealth out of India. And today we find our brain drain. Skilled, educated people are migrating to other countries in search of jobs. Maybe they are going to Gulf countries. Maybe they are going to European countries or America or Australia. So a good number of skilled people, doctors, engineers, who is supposed to, those people, they are supposed to work in our country and bring benefits and advantage to our country. Such people are leaving the country and bringing advantage and benefits to other countries. Now the next point, it also puts a question mark on the education system of India, which is not able to produce a employable human resource. There is some problem with our education system of India. Every year, thousands and thousands of white-collar graduates and postgraduates are generated by the colleges, and they are not able to produce employable human resources. They are not employable. They don't get that much of skill and knowledge. They are not employable. That is another problem. So we have to think about bringing some change in the education system of India. Let us come to the next question, which is the most labor-absorbing sector of Indian economy. Where more people can be given employment opportunities. Small-scale manufacturing and agriculture has been the most labor-absorbing sector in India. Now, most of the people are employed in small-scale manufacturing sector. And we are also employed in agriculture. Almost 60-70% of the people are engaged in agriculture in India. Another point, the absence of employment opportunities in the rural areas has forced people to shift to small-scale manufacturing. So, we told earlier a lean season. We told earlier that in disguised unemployment. So we find in the absence of employment opportunities in the rural areas, village areas, that is why a lot of people are forced to shift to small-scale manufacturing. That is why people come to cities in search of jobs. So we see that how many people have come to Kerala to work from maybe from Bengal, maybe from Odisha, maybe from Bihar, maybe from UP, Rajasthan. A lot of people are coming. Same way you will find a lot of people come to Haryana, Punjab to work in the agricultural sector, factories and other fields. A lot of people come. So if we have opportunities here, then people will not go to other places. That is a problem. Next one. Next question. Can you suggest some measures to improve the education system in India? First of all, we should provide a technological and a scientific knowledge to the people. We should provide a technological, scientific knowledge to our people. And the second point, we should provide a career-based education. Our education should be career-based. We teach a lot of subjects and which may not be useful to them later in life. So we should provide career-based education, occasional training. We can teach them training in training in computer, training in mechanical work, so training in carpentry, training in wiring, plumbing, etc. The next point, we should provide some skill to our people. We need some skill. We need to provide, skill training to our people. More skill should be given to our people so that they can find jobs of their own, or they can set up something of their own. And next point, we should give a training in information technology, biotechnology, nanotechnology, etc. We should give training in so many information technology. In a lot of areas are there: chemical engineering, biotechnology, nanotechnology. There are new fields are coming up. And so we should give training in information technology, biotechnology, nanotechnology, etc., so that people can get jobs. And the next point, we should improve the language skills of people, especially in English. Our people should have a mastery over the English language. Then only they can get jobs. They are able to communicate well. They are able to understand things well, because most of the communications are done in English. So knowledge can be transferred easily. So our people, many of them, if a message is sent to them, we are unable to read the message and understand it. That's a problem our education system is facing. So we should try to improve the language skills of the people, especially in English. They should have a mastery over English. They can read and write, and they can understand. That is very important in the education system. So with that, we have come to the end of this class. So today we learned about distinguish between disguised employment and seasonal employment, and how education system, how the educated Indians are facing a peculiar problem in India. What steps should be taken to improve the education system in India? All those points we have gone through. So I want all of you to write down these questions in a point wise in your notebook. You should learn them, and then you should get ready for a test the very next day. You should read the chapter very well. I told you earlier, once or twice you should read the chapter minimum 2 or 3 times, so that you may have a better understanding. So with that, we come to the end of our economics chapter 2. Next we will be beginning with the civics, and then the next chapter.